Hey guys, what's up? It's Emmy. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about what are macros and how to find your maintenance calories. This is a part of the beginner series I'm doing for all things health and fitness. So if you have trouble with nutrition and you just want to learn more about it, this is a great video for you. If you follow a lot of like fitness influencers or you're like following a lot of just like the fitness media, you often probably hear the term macros, and along with that you might hear the terms bulking, cutting, and maintenance. So we're just gonna go over what are macros and how to find your maintenance calories. I'll do a whole other video about bulking and cutting because that's just kind of a little bit extra. But yeah, first we'll go over macros and then we'll get into the maintenance calories. And this will kind of give you an idea on how to start tracking your macros if you are interested in doing so. So macros are your carbs, fats, and proteins. Each food has a certain amount of carbs, a certain amount of fats, and a certain amount of protein in it. So that is what macros are, and macros is short for macronutrients. So in foods there's also micronutrients, which are vitamins and minerals, but I won't be going over those in this video. So basically macros are what gives you energy when you eat. So when I talk about tracking macros, that means I'm eating a certain amount of grams of carbs, fats, and protein, which makes up my macros that I track, and that kind of falls into a calorie range based off of those macros. I will say if you're going to start tracking, I would track the macros over calories because a lot of the packages, like the nutrition facts, the calories aren't always correct because they don't really have to be enforced like that. So it's easier to aim for like a macro goal because those, you know what you're eating, versus calories, it's kind of a range of calories on your nutrition labels. So the amount of carbs, fats, and proteins, which are your macros, it depends how much you should be eating depending on your goals and like who you are, your body type, genetics, all of that takes a place in that. But usually carbs makes up the majority of your macros and your intake for the day. I will just say you should at least be eating 130 grams of carbs per day. That's just kind of what your brain needs to function. So in general, your carbs should make up about 45 to 65% of your diet. Your protein should be at 10 to 35%, and I always say 1 gram per pound of body weight, especially if you're into working out and weightlifting. And then your fat should be about 20 to 35% of your diet. These are just general numbers. Of course, it all depends on your goals, but this is just what is recommended. I would say if you want to build up some muscle or if you're weightlifting a lot, I would have your protein on the higher side. And what I'm about to go into with maintenance calories will help you kind of determine where you should be with your macros if you're wanting to start tracking. So first, let's talk about what maintenance calories are before we dive into how to figure them out. So your maintenance calories are when you're at a caloric intake, so the amount of food you consume in a day where you don't lose or gain any weight, you just stay the same, so you maintain. So to figure out what your maintenance calories are and how to start tracking food and your macros, you want to either download like MyFitnessPal or some other app where you can track and log your food during the day. So you want to track your food for about like 5 days minimum. Just eat the same as you always eat, like do not change anything. You want to have an accurate representation of what you've been eating normally. And when you're tracking the food, try to be as accurate as you can. So if you have a food scale, definitely measure out your food in grams. But if you don't, try to use like measuring cups. There's tons of different ways you can input it in these apps. Just do your best to estimate what you're eating. So once you've tracked for about 5 days, you want to look at what your calorie range is and figure out what the average amount of calories that you're consuming throughout those 5 days. And then you want to take a look and see, have you been staying around the same weight for the past like few weeks, months, or have you been fluctuating? Have you been gaining weight? Have you been losing weight? And I just want to point out that your weight does fluctuate day to day, so just kind of a general area that you're staying the same. So if you have been staying around the same weight, maintaining your weight, you can kind of assume that those 5 days that you averaged out for the calories is around your maintenance calories. But if you notice you've been losing weight, add 100 to 200 calories to that, and that will be around your maintenance. If you've been gaining weight, decrease your calories 100 to 200 calories from that, and that should be around your maintenance calories. But then once you figure out that number, stay eating at that number for 2 to 3 weeks and see how your body responds to it. Are you gaining weight? Are you losing weight? Are you still maintaining that weight? And then you can kind of figure out from there what your actual maintenance calories are. And then from there, I know I mentioned cutting and bulking. From the maintenance calories, if you want to bulk, you up your calories from that, and if you want to go into a cut, you decrease your calories from that. But it's very important to do things very slowly and actually take the time to see how your body responds. You don't want to do any drastic increases or drastic cuts in your calories. And then from those maintenance calories, you then figure out the macros. I'm not going to go all in depth of that, but there are ways you can find it out online based on your maintenance calories, or you can get help from like a nutrition coach, something like that. But this just kind of gives you a starting point if you're looking into tracking your food, macros, all of that. So yeah, I hope you found this helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I post videos like this every Tuesday and Thursday. Follow my Instagram. I'll link it down below. I'll have it on the screen here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.